everybody. Welcome back. This is Grind Lifestyle. My name is JP. That guy over there is Nick Martin. And that guy down there doesn't have a name under his. I'm just kidding. He's Greg Camp from Smash Mouth fame, Mighty Mighty Boss Tone fame, and he's chilling with us right here on the Grind Lifestyle podcast. Greg, how are you, man?
I'm great. How are you guys doing today?
Good. We're good. I'm chilling in my 110-degree studio right now.
I was going to say it's I don't know. It's probably not 110, but it's very humid where I am.
Are you a Deep South guy?
I am in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Well, I spent a few days in July a couple of years ago in Nashville, so I get it. Our good friend Barry Corbin, very, very famous actor, equated it as sitting in a sponge living in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, pretty much. I get to play outside this evening too, so I'm sure I'm probably going to lose a few pounds.
Oh, that's okay, man. That's
are you playing with the Defiant this evening, or is it just a one-off thing? Or
I am in an instrumental surf band here in Nashville. There aren't very many of those here, and so we started playing in this place called Rice Vice, which makes sake. It's like a sake bar, and they always have food trucks out in front. They're like, "Hey, we need some surf music here," and we're like, "We'll do it." So, yeah. So every Wednesday, that's what we do.
When I hear surf music, I immediately go Dick Dale. Is that kind of what you got going on?
That's what you would think. Yeah, he's sort of like the superhero of surf guitar. Yeah, we do play a couple Dick Dale songs, but
that's amazing.
But we also just choose, like, people will say, "Hey, play this song," and we'll just do it in a surf style. So we take requests and we turn it into surf songs.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, Nick, top of your head, come up with any song that is the farthest away from surf music, and maybe he'll play it tonight.
Creed's "My Own Prison."
That song doesn't pop into my head. I don't know very much about Creed, but, like, for instance, George Michael's "Careless Whisper."
Yeah, there you go.
That is a surf song that we have in our set now because someone requested it.
Dude, I actually love that song, and now it's going to come out to the world. Obviously, it's slipping me. Covered it recently. It was Seether covered it.
Yes.
And then it comes on occasionally on my radio station because I have it in rotation, the normal one. And it's a guilty pleasure, man. I'll crank that, roll the windows up, and
there is nothing wrong with loving some George Michael. I've got George Michael on my gym playlist, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right next to Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Good song's a good song, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Greg, tell me about Smash. Sorry.
No, go. Remember, we have to raise hands. It's only two of us again. It's like old school.
I know.
It should be easy.
So tell me about, so did you get your start in Smash Mouth? Is that like kind of where it started, or was there something before that, or?
Yeah, I mean, that was the most notable thing that I did. Before that, I was in, some bands in San Jose. I was in a band called Lackadaddy. I was in a cover band for a living called The Amateur Gentlemen. Or they called us the Gents for years. So, I mean, I played a lot in a lot of different bands, but Smash Mouth was the one that actually hit.
Okay. I know we've crossed paths at some point. Steve was a good friend of mine for many, many years, and always took care of my family. That's he was like Uncle Steve to my three middle kids. So anytime you guys would come through the area, he always had meet and greets, always make sure the kids got to hang out and say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like, "Oh, Dad, it's the singer from Shrek. Holy shit." They were so stoked on that.
He was the best about that kind of stuff, about meet and greets and getting kids on stage and staying in touch with old friends and radio people and stuff like that. He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we probably crossed paths at some point. I just not placing. I know Randy, the drummer. Yeah, I still see him every now and then, and so.
So you live? I guess you live over.
I'm in Oregon. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the last time, I can't remember. It's been a while since the last time.
Smash Mouth has played Brit, haven't they?
Yeah, that's the last time I saw Smash Mouth with Steve was at Brit. And then I went and saw the new iteration of Smash Mouth with the new singer, and I was like, man, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it'll never be the same, but
Yeah.
they're doing what they do.
Yeah. But man, the Defiant though, you're in the band with the singer from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, one of my favorite bands of all time. What's
Well,
that like?
it's great. I mean, the whole thing, I'll try to give you a quick synopsis of how that whole thing started. But, it was during the lockdown and everybody had basically moved away. I moved from California to Nashville. Dickie moved out to Arizona. The drummer from The Offspring actually already lived in Franklin, Tennessee. And a friend of ours just said, "Hey, you guys are all sitting around doing nothing. Why don't you start a band?" And we're like, "Oh, good idea. Let's do that." And so we kind of started passing songs around through email, and it ended up being pretty good. And so, we threw a band together, rehearsed, did a video, did an album, and went on the road.
Sweet.
And there you have it. That's the Grind Lifestyle Podcast. All right.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
So, the theme of this particular is, grind. Nick, well, if there is a tagline for the Grind Lifestyle, what is it?
You put me on the spot, dude.
Isn't it on every single t-shirt, the website? I mean,
yeah, I don't remember what it is though, dude. I've got so many hats going on. Like I just, sorry.
All right. So basically hustle, respect, family, stuff like that. Well, being that it's the Grind Lifestyle, how do you, Greg, adhere to that lifestyle, if at all, when it comes to your music career? I mean, do you just kind of take it as it comes? You have to work really hard at it, little mixture of the both. How does that work for you?
In the last few years, I've kind of started to relax. And, I was chasing, hit songs, and I was trying to write with other people and write with other artists and other writers and this and that. And I just kind of got burnt out, and I moved away from Los Angeles and ended up here in Nashville. And I started relaxing. And now it's kind of like, when you kind of sit like this, you know, people sort of pay attention to you rather than when you go like this, what's going on? Where's the next thing? What's going on out there? And so
I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out.
see, you just look cooler and more relaxed, and it makes me want to come say something to you, like, "Hey, what are you doing?
All right.
How can I be like you?"
Oh, and you don't want to be like me.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes
10
any
years
sense, but
ago me, or 5 years from now me, but right now me, I'm in the midst of brand new teenagers, so we don't want any part of that.
Right. I think in Nashville there's definitely a club here, and not everyone's invited to it, and I understand that. And so I just kind of came here and I didn't disrupt anything. I just sort of like started meeting people, and now people call and say, "Hey, come play guitar on this," or, "Hey, I need you to write something for me," or, "Hey, will you produce this girl, singer,"
Right.
or whatever. And so that's just kind of what I'm doing now.
Comparing the grind at the beginning to now, do you find yourself a happier guy now?
Yeah, just less stressed out, a lot happier. I just I get up, I have chickens, I hang out outside with my chickens and my kids and my wife and my dog, and then I go do some work, maybe, if I feel like it. If I don't feel like it, I go jump in the pool, or I go to the lake, or it's just a different lifestyle. I can kind of relax a little bit in my old age.
Oh, I'm thinking we're right about the same. All three of us are probably right now in the same ballpark, if I were to guess.
I bet I'm the oldest.
Oh, well, we know Nick's the youngest. We're going to play that game. Okay, we're just going to let you win. I'm not going to ask your age on a podcast. No one needs to know that. And I'm sure a quick Wikipedia, Google search would find out anyway.
That's true.
Who are musical influences for you, and have they changed over the years?
Well, I've just kind of keep adding, they've always been there. It's like I've never stopped loving, AC/DC and Van Halen and Bob Marley and, Flea, Bootsy Collins, Sly and the Family Stone, Stevie Wonder, but now, living here, I'm just a little more open to, a lot of different sorts of music now. I like Nikki Lane and gosh, who, gosh, what did they call her? Spacey Casey Musgrave. That was like,
All
got
right.
really into that latest album a while back. It's all
Oh,
I
she's
listened to
great.
for a while. Yeah.
So what is your
So, yeah.
take on how the industry is like gone from like I'd say late 90s to now where everything is social media based? Like I run a management company. We have a bunch of artists that we work with, and Scott Bartlett from Saving Abel is my business partner in this, along with JP. And the biggest thing that like Scott tells us is like, back in the day, you broke on radio, you had everybody doing things for you. The artist could essentially be an artist. Now, what we're finding is the artist has to not only be an artist, they have to be an influencer. They have to break on TikTok to get on the radio. What are your thoughts on that? Being
Well, it's great for people who have the time to do that kind of stuff. It's like, I definitely do not hustle, which is part of your mantra, I think.
yeah,
It's like the last thing I want to do is go out there and hustle for stuff. And so I'm terrible at social media. I catch shit for it all the time from my wife. And she's like, you only have, this many followers. I'm like, that's a lot to me. Like, yeah,
Right.
go look at this guy, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot more, isn't it? But I just don't care, and like you said, Nick, like I do miss the old days, and the way people used to get, noticed and get signed, record deals and things like that. They really worked their asses off. And, I thought that Smash Mouth didn't work their asses off hard enough and a lot of other people would agree with that. It's like we came out of nowhere. We just had a song and a friend that worked at radio, and bada bang, we were on.
Mhm.
So
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. No, it's so weird dealing with like we have so many different types of artists that we have. So like we have country. I just signed a pop artist out of LA that was all over MTV back in the early 2000s, and he kind of fell off and now he's making a big comeback. And it went from, yeah, all he had to do was send a song to an executive at MTV and I'm like on every single TV show. And now it's like, shit, I have to have 10 million social media followers and 5 viral videos to even get noticed. So we're
right.
navigating those waters, and his music's phenomenal. The sad thing for me is it's like nobody really cares how talented these guys are. It's all about numbers. That's just like
Right.
it's super frustrating.
It
So how do
is.
we start the trend to get it back to the good old days? Or is that just done?
I think those days are gone. But like, I mean, I have a friend who's a well-known musician and in a well-known band, and his two sons, young kids, put a song out. They wrote a song and they did a video, and it's called "A Girl Likes Me." I think it's called "A Girl Likes Me," but they're called the Rated R's. And they got 2 million. They went viral, and and they got on television and everything. They're famous. And I'm like, wow. So I mean, you can also just be a kid and be famous these
Yep.
days, for no.
Yeah, we have my buddy Bobby, the lead singer of Saliva, his daughter Veda, same kind of thing. She started doing cover songs with Bobby just to help boost his socials. And
Mhm.
then she released her own single. I think she's 13 or 14 now, and it's done millions of views. She's like had millions and millions of downloads and streams and stuff. And it's just like compared to what Saliva's doing, she's blowing them out of the water. And it's like, oh, it's like, how do you do this?
And she said, honey, I'm going to put you on restriction if you get more famous than me.
Yeah, no, Bobby's great though. He's totally embracing it. Like if you go to his socials, it's every day they post a new duet video with him and his daughter singing some Linkin Park, or they even go old school. They'll do Queen, they'll do, whatever she's into at the moment. And
That's
so
great.
it's a cool dynamic to see him working with his daughter that way.
Yeah.
And here I am not letting my daughter show her face in any TikTok video.
Yeah. TikTok is the devil.
She's 12. It dominates all her friends' lives. She wants to do it so bad. And a part of me is like, this girl is funny. She's talented. She's very photogenic, and she's good behind a camera, in front and behind. I should probably let her, because that could be the cash cow.
Exactly.
And, but at the same time, being seen in that way to the world so quickly and so easily, and so much bad influence could come in. My dad alert is just I'm redlining the danger meter, and I don't know what to do with that yet. She just turned 12. I figured by 13 maybe we'll let her show her face, but
yeah,
it's tough, man.
I mean, I've got 14 and 16-year-old daughters, and no TikTok. We don't allow it,
Wow. And how do they feel about that? Do you get any fight?
Fortunately, a lot of their friends, in the community that we have here, don't have it either. And like we're very tight with all the families, and so everyone's like, "Are you going to get TikTok? No. Are you? Nope. Not if you're not. We're not going to get it that way, because that's the only reason people get it. Kids want it because their friends have it.
Yeah, right.
And then they get FOMO, and then they're mad at you, and then terrible house. So
14 and 16-year-old daughters. How's that going, man?
It's great, now that the 16-year-old's actually driving, I don't have to take her to coffee anymore or go pick up all of her friends. And she gets
but now you have the stress of she's out there.
She is out there. We're hoping for the best.
Wow. So Nick over here, he has, since we shifted to talking about our kids, Nick, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Nick has, last count, 87 kids and decided to foster a baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that really?
No. No.
What is it? Seven? It's more like 7 kids if we're going to be accurate.
Yeah, I have 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Are you guys fostering as well?
Yeah. My wife and I were fostering a newborn, so we've had him since he popped out and left the hospital. He's been with us for the last 4 months.
That's great.
So it's a crazy, weird situation dealing with all the legal stuff of DHS. Obviously we can't show his face on social media. We can't tell you his name. There's all kinds of weird stuff. If we want to go out and do something, we have to have a certified babysitter that's certified through DHS to make sure everything's good to go. So we've had to get our whole family's gone through and done the background check, and just to make sure everything is totally fine in case we're at someone's house and he's with us. Yeah. It's just the navigating through all that's been crazy, but just, the biggest thing is like making sure this kid knows he has someone that loves him and a family that's there for him. And his situation is really, really terrible. So it's, hopefully
that's great.
We can adopt him.
Good on you for doing that. That's great.
Did you just say you're hoping you can adopt him?
Yeah, that's kind of that's the goal right now.
Good, man. Cause I was thinking about this the other night. It's like, what happens if, a year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden, bye-bye, you are that child's parent.
Yeah. I can't get into too many specifics.
I know. I'm talking emotionally and mentally how that would not, that would.
Yeah, no, it's really hard. Like it's a roller coaster, because there are days where there's, the bio parents will be like, oh, we want to get our shit together. And then you're on standby of, okay, if they do these certain steps, they're going to come take baby and put baby with mom or dad. And it's like, I wish the system understood that this messes kids up more than pulling them away from a family. You put a kid in a situation where they're being raised by a certain family, and then pull them from that, put them into a situation with someone that has no idea any of the quirks with this kid. That I think that's, for me personally, I can see that's a huge issue with how kids are being raised today, and attitudes coming out and mental health issues and stuff. It's just, there's got to be a better system put in place to safeguard the kids, I would say. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see some of this. And I've seen it with the siblings of the baby that we're fostering, of what happens when because we do sibling visits with the brothers and sisters and stuff. And there's situations where it's like, man, like that poor kid, if it was in a stable situation, the attitude would be so much better. The outlook this kid has on life and the future would be way better for it. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything I can do, if there's, there's any going to the state and just being like, hey, there's got to be a better system in place for foster parents, for, checks and balances for when you're pulling kids from certain situations. There's just got to be a better way.
Yeah. Well, it's probably state to state too, because
That's what we're finding. Yeah.
we're involved in something here. We're not fostering a child ourselves, but we're involved with this house that was purchased by this organization that we're involved in called Isaiah 117 House. And what it does is it allows kids who are just going through basically the worst day of their life, being taken from their family, their abusive family or whatever. Obviously not as young as your situation, but instead of going to an office, they go to this home, which has new backpacks and new shoes and clothes and food and people and, to help them and a playground and all this stuff. That way they're not sitting in an office, and being tug of war back and forth, like, oh, the parents are going to get their shit together. Oh, but this family wants you to place you, or, things like that. So, I mean, I'm kind of in that world. We're not fostering ourselves yet, although that's not off the menu. So, or off the
Awesome.
table. So,
Yeah, it was scary when we got into it, but it's like definitely one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
yeah, absolutely.
Just it's really cool.
I don't know, honestly, if I could do it. I'll tell you what I could do. I could absolutely 100% adopt. The idea of becoming so attached and then having to give up.
Yeah.
Nope. No thanks. But I'll adopt you. And I'm dad. And, I'll take, that 18, 25 year path. No problem. But I couldn't.
I mean,
I applaud you, man. Weird, like with the process to get to the adoption point. It's so basically it's 15 months in foster care that the kid has to be in my house for 15 months. Once that happens, then the adoption process can start. But there's still the possibility of bio parents could be like, oh, hey, we're going to join this program and we're going to get clean. And this is what, and then we're going to, redo this. The thing that we have to look for, the baby's older brother lives with my brother-in-law, and he hasn't seen his mom more than twice in 5 years.
Oh,
so,
okay.
The possibility of anything changing and against us is highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So, which is sad. It's like, all kids should have their parents for sure. Yeah. But if their parents can't get it together and figure it out, then, you've got to do what's best for the kid, not what's best for the parent at the time. So,
for sure.
Switching gears.
Wow.
Greg, you can play a show with any artist, living or dead, that you have not previously played with. Who's it going to be?
Prince.
Ooh.
We get that answer. We've gotten that answer a lot in the past, and that is as good an answer as I've ever heard.
Like right when you started asking that question, I that's the person I thought.
You knew it.
So
okay, same question, but living, who you have played with.
I'm sorry, who I have played with?
Yeah. Who's like, of all the shows and of all the cities in all the countries that you've ever played, is there any particular artist, band that stands out that you may have opened for, or you closed for, or anything like that you think was like, wow, man, that was an opportunity?
Well, I mean, I had my favorites, and then I had, my oh my gosh moments. It's like, I mean, I loved being on tour with the band Blur. This is just at the end of that career, before Damon started going into Gorillaz. That was an amazing tour, because I loved that band. I loved watching them every night. But something that was like just incredibly, like, just blew my mind was touring with U2.
Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
That was I don't even know how to say what level that was on. It was just on another planet,
Yeah.
So,
that's crazy.
I mean, they I'll give you a quick little story. So U2 had like a stunt band that would do their sound checks for them, and they sounded almost just like U2. And nobody else would come to these sound checks except for The Edge. And The Edge would be up there for a very long time before that band started sound checking, just kind of playing and going through his guitar stuff. And he didn't have any pedals or anything on stage. He had a whole NASA team right below him under the stage.
Right.
And And I was able to go take a tour of that thing too. All of his effects were like rack mounted, and there were like I said, they were like these guys, like NASA guys, like in like lab coats down there, and they were like, adjusting all of his effects during the show, like in real time. This is before everything was like sequenced and all that stuff. And so that was incredible. And then the other thing is like watching them set up every day or every other day when we played with them. There was this enormous anvil case on stage that the lid needed to be taken off by a crane. And when the lid was taken off, there's the Edge's amplifiers. And there were like 20 of them, and they're all like strapped down and mic'd already. Someone would just plug a snake in and they were ready to go. And that was incredible, I thought,
Well,
so crazy.
That's the answer I'm looking for. And it's such detail too, man. Well done.
It's sort of like really cool. You actually got to see all that stuff too. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I was the nerd that paid attention to weird stuff like that on tour.
It's always fascinating I'm a promoter, like that's what I started out doing. And it's always fascinating to see how these different bands set up and what they do. I've never heard of a stunt band doing a sound check though. That's a first for me.
Right.
They were cool. They sounded just like them,
That's insane. Like to be a band that big and have enough money to actually have a stunt band would be unreal.
I think that they were like made up of crew members, but with them, the thing about U2 is they're very loyal to their crew and their management and their people. It's like you see the same people with them on tour than you've seen like in pictures or their documentaries or their movies. You see the same people.
Wow.
older now.
Yeah.
Paul McGuinness and all their tech people, all their techie people were the same throughout the years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
With your kids being 14 and 16, I like how I bounce back and forth. This is a question I've asked in previous episodes on a different podcast Nick and I used to do. But I'm curious, are your kids aware that dad is a rock star in every sense of the word? Toured the world, played with their bands. And part two, said question, have they taken advantage of that fact if they are aware?
They're aware that dad used to be on television, used to tour the world, and used to be in stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're also, and probably more so, annoyed by the song All Star coming on at their dances.
I can imagine.
In the grocery store, in an elevator, at a baseball game, they're like, this dad,
Right.
Why, Dad? Why? And their friends all point at them whenever it comes on, and they're like, and it's like that song. And I'm not hating on it. I think it's great, but that song just will not leave anyone alone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Should probably turn my phone off.
Oh gosh, there's one song I can't think of the name of the song. I'm looking up your track list right now. That is my favorite Smash Mouth song. And the fact that I cannot think of the title of it right now is killing me. And it's not even on your top, in the top here that I'm looking up. Nick, let me find this.
I'm a big fan of the first album, the Fush You Mang. Like every song, like how some of them were like just extremely hard and just not radio friendly. Some were very radio friendly. The diversity of that first album was like, damn, those guys are insane. And then it just, you guys, and then, the All Star and then the Shrek stuff. And
yeah, well, I mean, so the song that kind of catapulted us was a song that I had written for the band I was in prior to Smash Mouth. So Walking on the Sun is a song that got us on the radio and got us our record deal. But at the time, we were playing like punk rock, like we were like a ska punk band.
Yeah.
We were chasing that trend, I'm not, so when that song came out and got us, got our record out and everything, people bought the album and they were pissed that the rest of the album didn't sound like that. Most of them were pissed. Some of them were like, oh, cool, they're kind of a punk band or something,
Right.
Yeah.
I found it.
What's your song?
Padrino.
Ah, that's so funny. I'm learning a song for my surf band tonight, and it sounds a little bit like Padrino. I'm like, I wonder if these guys rip me off, you know?
Right? Well, you can't rip yourself off, right?
No, I rip myself off all the time, and everybody else.
No, man, I love the intro to that song. It's just that's again, man, I get to countless guests over the years doing these podcasts, and especially when it comes to musical guests like yourself, and it isn't just me. So many lives that you have touched with music that you've come up with, and literally that song is a chapter in the book of my life. In fact, I'm going to say 1999. It was for me when if that song comes on or it plays or I hear it, I'm immediately transported back to who I was with, where I lived, what I was doing, all the emotions of that summer of '99, and it's just. I'm just one dude. I can't imagine the millions. And that to me is the greatest thing I would think about being a musician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that song, our original drummer, Kevin, would come over to my house and go, and I'd be like sitting there watching some mob movie or some sort of mafia thing. I was kind of obsessed with it. And he's like, man, why don't you write a song about that? And I'm all, oh, yeah, I'm gonna. And the next day I had Padrino, and it was like, it's kind of crazy because it's almost like a Broadway mafia song or something, you know? Like,
yeah, but it great song, funny. Man.
When I demoed it, that's kind of what it sounded like. Like when I was trying to play it for Steve, and it sounded like I was sounding like some weird Broadway lady singing about the mob, you know? And he's like, no, man, we got to make this actually sound a little tougher. I'm like, go for it, dude. That's your job.
There it is, man. That's a great story, man. I am glad I brought that up, Nick.
Glad you found it.
Yeah, well, dude, come on, man. We've got a digital box in our pocket that can tell you literally every information that has ever existed in human history. Yeah. Finding Padrino, it didn't take too terribly long.
Well, funny, you know, talking about music that like takes you back to like that one moment, and like for me, it's Matchbox 20's Push. I actually got to hang out with Ryan, the drummer for one of the drummers for Matchbox 20. And my story is I actually lost my virginity to the song Push. So I'm hanging out. We're having dinner with a bunch of friends, and
no, we don't need any more details.
Wait. You took it literally?
I did. So we're having dinner with Ryan, and then there's a bunch of other band members. We're hanging out in Grants Pass. They were playing a show with Elvis Monroe, one of the other bands I'm friends with. Brian happened to be the drummer for that band at the time. So we're all at dinner, and he's like, tell me how you got into Matchbox 20. And I'm like, so I told him the story, and he freaking FaceTimes Rob Thomas, and he's like, dude, you got to hear this. This is the most fucked up thing ever.
Well, you know, now that we're on the topic, you know, and nothing is off limits, and we could stop at any point in time. I just tried to think if there was a song playing in that instance for me, and I can't recall, although it wasn't a car for the record. But again, chapters of lives written in music. And this is going to be the corniest thing you've ever heard in your life, maybe. But there's a song also that plays. It's on many radio stations throughout the world, occasionally plays. And then every time it plays, I think of a night with, oh my gosh, if you ever see this, Julie Regan. Back in, 1995, 94, I don't know. It was somewhere back then, but Fields of Gold, Sting.
Good one.
Yeah.
I was hoping mine would have been 9 Inch Nails Closer, but I got Matchbox 20 Push.
So, fuck you. So anyway, that leads you to Greg. Is there any instances of that in your life?
I mean, it's been so many decades.
So me too, man.
I don't remember what was playing or if anything was playing. You know, we were probably trying to be quiet.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's a good diversion of the question there. Well done. Oh man, if you could give any advice to any up and coming musician, what it would be?
Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Yep.
Stay true to whatever wherever your music is taking you. Even if you have influences and heroes and idols, don't try to be them. Bring your own brand of whatever that is to the table, because no one else does what you do. Just s- s- stay yourself and stay weird and be creative and don't second guess yourself. Don't. I ran into this recently where I was like, you know what? Nobody cares about me writing songs anymore. I'm not in a big famous band. No one gives a shit. Why am I even doing this? And then I remembered that I started doing this because I love doing it. And I just, by chance and very gratefully was able to make a living out of it. But before that, I did it for the love of doing it. And that's just one thing that we got to keep remembering. Do not ever forget that that's why you do it.
There you go.
That's
Good
awesome.
advice right there from the man. There you go.
Welcome.
Man, I had another question. I had a Nick. I have these questions lined up in my head, and then I get so into what you're saying and answering the
That's
question.
what the voice memo on your phone is for.
Yeah, but I can't interrupt. Or don't forget to ask while you're answering.
That's how I remember all my thoughts. I'll be driving. I'll be in mid conversation with my wife, and I'll be like, and she's like, again.
There you go. He's thinking of a riff.
Because they come and they go.
Yeah, especially when you get older.
You don't catch these thoughts, someone else is going to catch them.
Out of all the venues you played, we'll keep it US based. What is your favorite venue that you've ever played?
Stubbs Barbecue in Austin.
Yes.
Oh, I remember.
That's badass.
Stubbs Barbecue, Austin town. I love that town.
I have a story about that too, if you want to hear it.
Yes.
I don't want you to lose your thought, JP.
No. I got it. Just pirate. If I forget, someone say pirate, and I'll remember.
Pirate. Okay. Playing Stubbs Barbecue, 1997, opening for Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
And
Mark.
We're outside. It's hot. It's July. And we play our set. We killed it. It was great. Sugar Ray comes out on stage, and Mark likes to get very close to his audience. A lot of times in the audience. And this particular night, he was standing right on the edge of the stage, singing, just singing everybody. And some girl in the front row jumps up and bites Mark in the dick. And is hanging.
Junk bite. Oh my God.
And then hanging by his crotch, like hanging from him. And he's like, ah! So this is the first song, the very first song.
Right.
So he goes running off the stage. The band's like looking around like they're still playing the song, and he's gone. And they kind of mess around for a few more minutes, and he comes back out and he's like, I'm sorry, I have to end the show. I need to go to the hospital. He's like, but they ended up playing the song Fly because that's what everyone was there to hear, right?
Right.
And then Mark McGrath's the funniest guy I know. He goes like this. He goes, now I know why they call this place Stubbs.
Oh, no. That's a fantastic story. And I bet you from that day forward, he didn't get so close, huh?
Not the rest of the tour that we were
Gosh, man, can you imagine? And what are you thinking, lady? If this somehow gets to you, come on.
Yeah, throw a bra. Like, it's safer. Come on.
She's got a story. I got a story. Mark's got a story. Now you guys have the story.
Yeah, we've got the story. And it is now captured in a digital forever. Yeah. We've been trying to get Mark for years. We were this close, and man, I got to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
I'm just more curious. Did everything heal up okay?
If you have a better connection to Mark than I do, that would be amazing. Like he said yes.
I mean, I'm trying to put myself, because that's what I like to do. I hear a story, I like to put myself in that story as if it were me happening to. How does the full body weight, even a very itty bitty girl, say 90, 100 pounds, hanging?
Yeah.
That ain't good. That ain't good for anybody.
It's not good.
That Mark, you poor son of a bitch. I'm so sorry that happened to you, man.
I'm just thinking like he's got a dick of steel. Like,
well, I can say this: he has a very large dick,
So my Mark
rails.
McGrath story. He's playing the Brit Festival, right? And I go back to give him a hug and say hey, because I've known Mark for a long time, and I didn't realize he was in the shower, and I had to pee. I'm like probably 15 beers in, and so his DJ's back there. We're all talking and stuff. I run back, and Mark comes walking out in just a towel, rips the towel off, and gives me a big hug, and he's like, "Dude, it's been so long," and I'm like, bro, you're fucking naked. My wife's like,
So
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my Mark story.
Still one of my favorite tours, probably my favorite tour of all time, because that was our first tour. And we were, they had Fly was number one, and Walking on the Sun was coming up, creeping up behind them. And then we pushed them off their pedestal while we were on tour with them. And so there was a big celebration. It was fun. So
yeah,
but then we got
Mark was like hands down one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and like to this day, like I met him back in the late '90s, and even to this day, he's still the same dude. Like he's still just a funny.
He's the best.
Fucking hilarious.
He's the best.
Yeah,
gold. That guy.
All right, Mr. Greg Camp, Pirate. Okay, yes, I remembered. Your current band that you are playing tonight, the Surfer Rock, have you recorded anything, or is this just so brand new and you just fly out there? There's a method to my madness.
Okay, so that band is sort of an offshoot of another band that I'm in here. Same members and everything. We just only play surf covers.
Okay.
So the other band, and that band's called the Skeleton Coast.
Skeleton Coast. Okay.
The band that comes from is a band called Defector, which plays all Greg Camp songs.
Got you. Do you have any originals recorded for that band?
For Defector, yes.
Yes. Do any of those have any radio play other than, I'm not talking Spotify or any of those things, like actual terrestrial radio play?
Nope. I haven't. Nobody knows about it. It's
okay.
Like our own private little thing that's done in this. This is a boat repair shop that I'm sitting in.
It doesn't look like a boat repair shop.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. It's like now it's the big empty warehouse.
Gotcha. All right. Now to completely wrap up this series of questions. Sorry, Nick, I got a self-gloss, but it's for the benefit of everyone. I've worked in radio for 20 plus years now. I've done it all when it comes to radio. I was, the janitor. I was the IT guy. I was the program director. I was the music director. I was the production director. I've done it all. Nice. And I currently own and run a radio station called Pirate Radio. It's not terrestrial, it's streaming, which is what most of today is anyway. But the beautiful thing about my radio station is there are no rules in corporate, like I've been so used to all my life, where you can't play this, you can't play that. No, that's all out the door. Would you be willing and interested? And it's not to make it better for you, which it will, but it's kind of a win-win on both sides. I like to get unknown musicians, artists, music out there on my platform so the world can hear it. We've got 30,000 plus listeners daily worldwide on this thing. And I would love, if you want to, if not a big deal, to play some of your music on that radio station.
I would be honored to send you a folder with some tunes in it. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Now, let me give you the gist of what this station is all about, because there is a little bit of a theme, and then from that point, you can send me what you think would be a good match. But again, I'll play pretty much anything. So you're in a tiki bar. You're in the Caribbean, South Florida, somewhere tropical, and there's music all of a sudden coming on in that tiki bar. That's Pirate Radio. Lots of Buffett, classic rock, island country, reggae, new reggae, old reggae. It's just a smorgasbord of goodness, and it's all wrapped up in an island type theme. But that's it. That's I kind of gathered the drift,
I think you need to get some Defiant on there too. Like the Defiant is badass.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few of our clients through Lifted Artist Management. In fact, Nick, I don't know how this happened, but yesterday, one song which I'm not sure was supposed to be playing yet played.
Was it Addicted?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, and then Gypsy Soul.
Yeah,
played right after.
Uh-huh.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
but what's weird is there's 1,000 song rotation and they play back to back. So my automation system over the course of, the last month, for whatever reason, put those two back to back. And it's not supposed to do that because I got rules. But I was like, cool, block of Brandon. Let's go. You know?
So Scott Bartlett, our partner, he was obviously from Saving Abel, did the song Addicted, sold 8 million copies of that. His new project is a country project that sounds like Brantley Gilbert. So we had them cover Addicted. So we're putting that out July 10th. But I'm doing the whole social media promo. Let's push them to Spotify. So JP got it first. It's going to North Dakota terrestrial radio next. And then iHeart's getting it after that. So
great. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully that'll break them. We've been the last single they put out got like 226,000 views on YouTube in like 3 days. So I'm hoping that
it's funny, like
see some success with this new project. But
I thought you were going to say it got so many spins or ads because that's the way we used to speak in radio speak.
Yeah, no, everything's weird now. It's all Spotify streams and like even to book a band, like when I'm calling promoters and stuff, it's like, well, do you have 100,000 Spotify listeners? Do you have 200,000 streams? Do you have X amount of YouTube subscribers? And
yeah,
we've hit all that.
We were excited back then when we got ads, which meant we were added to 14 stations this week. We're like, that was a huge win.
Yeah,
that was a big win.
Yeah, it's weird. I've had meeting after meeting with iHeartRadio and Sirius XM, and basically it's like, unless we have $100 and something thousand, I can't get anybody's music put on anything. Or if they break on TikTok. So if they have 2 viral videos on TikTok, they have the keys to the kingdom. They can do whatever they want. It's so unreal. It's like, oh, come on. So I've got like this new guy, Gary Bender, out of LA that we're working with. He was on like Laguna Beach and stuff. His stuff is that really fun pop punk, all the emo resurgence stuff, all American Rejects sounding. So he just hit like 400,000 streams on one of his singles on Spotify. So we're like super close to having him nationwide radio and all over the place.
Great. Yeah, nice.
But it's just a weird genre. So it's like, country it's good, but it's really hard to break because you've got your Bailey Zimmermans, you've got all these young kids that knew how to do it on TikTok and busted out TikTok, and then now they're playing stadiums and all over the radio and stuff. And so
all right, you may not agree.
Back to you making me famous on your radio station.
Talk to me. What do you want to know?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to send you some stuff.
Well, as soon as we stop recording, and I'll get your contact info, and you can send me whatever a link, and
I'll send you.
Yeah. So we'll talk as soon as we get off. But yeah, man, it's a great radio station, and I honestly challenge anybody who works in radio or listens to radio, which would pretty much cover the whole gamut of people. To listen to it. It's as good as any, if not better than any radio station you've ever heard. And the sound quality comes out in like 8K HD. It's so good. I'll switch to a local radio station that I've got, here in town, and then pop over to mine. I'm just like blown away at how clear and different and good sounding it is. It's really cool. And, it's my passion. It's what I do. It's fun. It's easy for me. And I get to, normally not, people may not get heard as well. And it's just another avenue, again, this isn't going to, well, it could, let's not be too hard on myself here, but it could get to someone and goes, who's that? Give me a call. And I tell them, they call you. And next thing you know, you're opening at Staples Center next month. You never know, but bottom line,
I can tell you for Brandon Jordan, after you played the first song we sent you, we got 10,000 streams on Spotify.
Nice.
So
that has some correlation to what
they have some impact. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and it's a win-win. But I'm not doing it for spins. I hate social media too, but I have to do it. and he's been struggling to, he's the master. I'm like the guy behind the scenes who can ask good questions and talk good, but I'm not a fan of it at all. But I know now that it needs to be done, and I'll be real good for a week, and then, hey, dude, you haven't posted in a month. That's just. But I want to expose the world to good and new music that wouldn't normally get there. And I thankfully have a platform that is very well known now. It's been doing it for 8 years. We're about to go commercial, so it's going to get even bigger here soon. So yeah, anyway, we'll get all that information afterwards. And you just pick 3 of your best, in your opinion, that would maybe close fit, maybe give Pyre a listen for an hour. 2, 3, 10 days, your call. And I'll put it in rotation. I get excited. Can you tell when I talk about?
Yeah.
There's some passion involved there, man.
Look, I'm sweating. I'm so excited.
Come on. Oh, but yeah, Nashville, almost July.
Yeah.
In a boat repair shop that probably doesn't have very good AC. If that's the only AC you got running back there, yeah.
Right there. Yeah. I've never turned it on. I've only turned on the heater, which is like a jet engine. It's all it works so well, but it's super loud. I can't have it on when I'm recording. So anyway.
Well, what do you think, Nick? You got any more questions? You want to wrap this son bitch up?
Let's wrap it up, man. This was fun. Thank you so much. And I'm glad we had that mutual connection with Jim and we were able to get this worked out. So
yeah. How do you know Jim, by the way?
So Jim actually works with our company. So he does all of our distribution for the artists that we have. He does Spotify promotion, YouTube promotion. And I pick his brain 3 or 4 times a week on music stuff. The dude is a wealth of knowledge and like one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So
he's a wonderful guy, and I need to spend more time with him. I see him, about once a week, but we're not sitting down hanging out. But we used to hang out and like have coffee and
nice.
I need to do that again with him.
Yeah, and he's actually from our area, kind of. He's from like Northern California, which is like an hour and a half away. So,
right.
Yeah. So it was really cool to connect with him. He actually helped a friend of mine out here, and that's how the connection started. And then he became part of our company, and now he's a consultant / the guy that we send everybody to for distribution. And
yeah, he's great.
Yeah, great. It's just a great asset that we have for anybody that wants to ask any questions at all about what they're doing. So
my daughter just showed up. You want to meet her, Greg? And then we can end this thing. Hey, come here. And she just took off on her scooter. What are you doing? Come here. You say you always want to meet famous people, and here we have one, literally right here. Okay, she's not coming. All right, your loss.
I know. I was gonna turn into that person you don't want to meet.
You ready? Watch this. Oh, really? This ought to be fun then. Avery, do you like the movie Shrek? I'm sorry. You do. Okay. Sing the song from Shrek, just one line of it. But you know what it is? Oh my God, you have to come here right now. You have to. You don't understand.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ate the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger in the thumb. I hope I remember the word. Down and out on her forehead. Hey now, you're an all-star.
It's a game on. Yay!
That's about all the attention span kids have these days.
Well done, Mr. Camp. That was unexpected. Thank you so much. That is Avery, my 12-year-old that I was speaking about earlier. She says hi. She's off camera now. I don't know. She used to love the camera. Now all of a sudden, it's not a phone. So, here, Avery, look. Here's my phone. I'm recording a TikTok. Come here. Look. See how easy it was?
You're dangling carrots.
Oh man, that was amazing, man. I know what our clip's gonna be.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Jesse. Also the story about Mark McGrath penis hanging. That would be a good one. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out and checking out the Grind Lifestyle Podcast. Once again, that is Nick Martin. I am JP. He is the now most favorite person in my life, at least for the next week, Mr. Greg Camp. We'll catch you all next week on a new episode. Have a great rest of your day. See you.